Hi my beauty, welcome to Midday Motivation. I am Hope Knowles and I am here to get you motivated. Today I want to give you three tips, on how you can change your negative thoughts into positive thoughts. The last time that we were together we discussed this lion mentality, and one of the things that we learned that makes the lion the king is the fact that they protect their territory. Now if you want to see that full video, I'll definitely include it in the cards at the end of this video. It's also going to be linked in the comments below. But I want to take that further today and really dive deep into protecting our territory, but not our physical territory like your cubicle, your home, your car, but your mental territory. How you can take those negative thoughts when they pop into your head and transform them into something positive so that you can be happy and the person that you want to be. Mind is like the motherboard of our body. It controls the way we feel, the things that we do, how we carry ourselves, and ultimately the destiny of our lives. So it's so important that we learn how to take control over our thoughts and to think in the right manner. History has shown us this so many times. Michael Jordan did not make the basketball team his freshman year of high school. He could have easily said, I'm not good enough. He could have quit, but he allowed that to spur him to go harder, to train harder and work harder, and now he's one of the greatest players that have ever played the game. The same thing about Walt Disney. He had a teacher tell him that he was a horrible artist and he should give it up and he would never be successful. If he had allowed that negativity to take root into his mind and have him quit, he never would have created the empire that we see today. And it wasn't just overcoming that stumbling block. He had to file bankruptcy. There was a lot that came into the Disney brand being Disney. And I think it's important for us to realize that people are going to tell us negative things sometimes. Negative things are going to happen in our lives, but when we can learn how to take control over those negative thoughts, when we can learn how to not let it dictate the way we feel, then we're able to level up and go to higher levels and create the life that we want and live up to our full potential in life. So now that we know why it's important to have this mentality and be able to control our thoughts, let's get into changing these negative thoughts into positive. So the first step is counter every negative with something positive. What I mean by that is sometimes negative thoughts are just going to come in your head, and if that is who you are as a person, you may get them more frequently. But even if you're a positive person, sometimes you're just going to get negative thoughts, or maybe somebody will tell you something negative and you're looking like, oh my gosh, and it makes you feel really bad. I want you to counter that with something positive. So if you have a thought of I'm so stupid, tell yourself you are so smart. I'm so smart. Even if you don't believe it in that moment, tell yourself that, because the more that you start counteracting those negative thoughts with positive thoughts, you're going to start seeing them happen less and less. It's going to become more of a routine, and that way when you get hit with negative things, you'll instantly combat it with something positive. That's going to play a major part into changing your mind frame and shaping the way that you think. Step number 2, and I want you to do this every night, and not just Monday through Friday or 3 times a week, Monday through Sunday. I want you to do this every single night. I want you to compliment yourself and give yourself 3 compliments. You can write them down, you can just tell yourself, but give yourself 3 compliments. And don't think it has to be anything big. You don't have to say that I climbed the Eiffel Tower today. If you are the type of person that has 50 negative thoughts in a day and you realize that you only had 47 today, then you compliment yourself that you only thought negatively 47 times. You did it 3 times less. Whatever it may be, no matter how big or small, give yourself 3 compliments. The world is going to beat you down. People are going to constantly tell you you're not good enough, what you can't do. And so what you have to do is take the ownership and responsibility to build yourself up. So many times we're looking to others to build us up. We're looking to others to validate us and make us feel good. But see, that good feeling should come from the inside. So it's important to compliment yourself and recognize the things that you are doing good, and not let anything seem too small or too trivial to be like, good job, you did really good. Like, give yourself that pat on the back, give yourself that hand clap. You deserve it. And so the third thing, drum roll, I want you to remove 3 words from your vocabulary. Yes, 3 words from your vocabulary. They gotta go. And they're can't, won't, and don't. We so often tell ourselves what we can't do, what we won't do, or what we don't do. Remove those words from your mind. Like, don't allow them to come out of your mouth, and if they do, quickly correct it. So instead of saying you can't, you won't, or you don't, say how can I? how will I? How do I? That is the difference between people that are successful and aren't. Their mentality. Successful business people, CEOs of companies, they're not sitting there saying, I can't, it's never going to happen. No, they're like, okay, here's the problem, what's the solution? And they're creative. Being in the middle of this pandemic and everything that's going on, the businesses that are surviving, they're asking themselves those questions. How can I? How do I? What do I do? How can I transform my business and make it work? You know, I know a dancer. She had her own studio, just opened it. Beautiful dancer. She could have easily been like, now my life is over. No, she redid her brand, and now she's teaching online, making more money teaching online classes than she was when she had the studio open. But she had that mentality. It wasn't a defeatist mentality, but it was a mentality of, how can I make this happen? So I want to challenge you to, again, remove those 3 words from your thought process. Can't, won't, and don't. And instead ask yourself, how can I? How do I? How will I? That's how you're going to start changing and making things come to pass that you otherwise probably would have just given up on. Midday motivation is all about helping you walk in your purpose, with purpose, on purpose. But it's not always going to be easy, but you can do it. So if you're willing to put in the work to achieve the greatest life possible, then you're at the right place. You've come to the right channel. So make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't, so that you don't miss any of the videos that are coming up. And if this video helped you in any way, I want you to give me a big thumbs up. Finally, I told you guys on the last one that this was going to be a couple of different messages about developing this lion mentality and taking our thinking to the next level. So don't think it stops here. This was just part 1. We're going to dive even deeper on the next midday motivation. So you want to make sure that you click that bell so that you can get a notification when I post new content. Now I want to again quickly recap the 3 steps that you can take to start changing your negative thoughts into positive. You're going to counter every negative. Anytime something negative happens, this thought is said, you counter it with the opposite positive. So if you're saying, I don't have enough money, I am blessed and abundant. Whether it's true or not, whether you believe it or not, you say it. Compliment yourself every single night. Think of 3 things that you can compliment yourself on. Build yourself up. Let your validation come from within. And then the 3rd thing, remove those 3 words from your mindset, from your vocabulary. Can't, won't, and don't. And instead ask yourself, how can I? How will I? How do I? Even if you don't have the answer immediately, it'll come to you. You will get so much further by just asking yourself those questions instead of just going into it, giving up, saying it's not going to happen. So change the way you think. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you at the next midday motivation. I am Hope Knows, and I am here to get you motivated. You have an outstanding day. Bye.